In my hometown, just as in many places, the city has long been divided into the north side and the south side, and there has always been a sort of rivalry between the inhabitants of the two sections of the city. We happen to live on the south side. We shopped on the south side. We went to school on the south side. All our friends were on the south side, and our local newspaper was called the South Side Journal. The north side was a place you just didn't think of going. It was a world away, and I didn't know anyone who had ever been there. Everybody called us the South Side Dutch, just because most of our families had come from somewhere in Europe a few generations ago. We were Germans, Poles, Italians, Irish, Czechs, Austrians, Croatians, Hungarians, Slovaks, and only a few could actually trace their ancestry back to Holland. But being from somewhere over there was all people need to know, and we were all lumped together as the South Side Dutch. The homes on our side of town were simple but very beautiful, not identical clones of each other at all, but each home unique, and each resembling an old-fashioned gingerbread house from a storybook. People took pride in their homes and their meticulously manicured lawns, and I was known as one of the best grass cutters in the neighborhood, caring for the lawns of many of the old people who could no longer do it for themselves. We were also called the Scrubby Dutch. This was actually a compliment, coming from the old days when the people would get down on their hands and knees every week and scrub their front porches, their steps, their sidewalks, and even the gutters in the street in front of their house. They were obsessed with cleanliness, and yes, you could almost eat off the pavement, though I never really tried doing that. By my day, only the older generation still scrubbed so obsessively, but the reputation remained. One day, I finally met a woman who, though she had lived for a long time in our part of town, revealed to me that she had actually been raised on the north side. This was somehow shocking to me, and I was very, very curious. I boasted to her that I had always heard that on the south side the old-timers were so clean that they used to wash their windows every week. She laughed and said that on the north side they used to wash the windows twice a week. Now I was speechless, but I was also struck by people's desire to see as clearly as possible. Windows had to be clean, or they might miss something. It also struck me that not only our house, but our life presents us with all sorts of windows which we must look through in order to see anything. We look through the window of our mind, our way of thinking, our education, and our upbringing, and all of that enables to see the world, to see life, to see ourselves. But those windows are shaped and colored a bit differently for each one of us, and so each of us sees things just a bit differently. We look through the window of our personal experiences, and that window, too, is different for everyone. We look through the window of our faith, our beliefs, our philosophy, our personal understanding of God and the universe, and that, too, colors what we see and how we see it. We look through many windows, some erected by others and some built by ourselves. Windows are wonderful, for they allow us to see something. But no window is perfectly shaped. No window is perfectly clear. No window is perfectly clean. And it matters very little to wash it every week or even twice a week. And certainly no window is big enough to provide us a complete view of everything. How wise is the insight of St. Paul addressed to us today. At present we see indistinctly, like in a mirror, and we know only partially. But when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away, and then we shall see everything clearly and know everything fully, just as we are fully known. Wash the windows. Scrub away from our minds and hearts the accumulated junk and dust that obstructs our view. But even if you clean those windows once a week or even twice a week, even if you clean them without ever stopping, a window is still a window, a barrier, imperfect and always too small. So often I would love not merely to clean those windows, but to smash them, or at least throw them wide open and put my head outside of them. It is only when all those windows are finally smashed that we will fully see, fully understand, and fully know. For it is then, when we no longer need this physical shell, this earthly dwelling with its earthly windows, that we shall see ourselves and God face to face and bask in the awesome beauty of what we have been trying to look at all along.